Every day I get to wake up and do this for a living, and I think this is such an interesting world that we get to build, and I can take that same feeling into every aspect of my craft. My name is Khoi Hoang. I'm a design director in the Gensler Dallas office. Storytelling for me is around how to connect with the audience that you're working with, client, a project, the team. You know, when you take a step back and are really, I think, intentional about everything that you do, it allows you to remind yourself, oh, this is why I live. Like, you know, to design, to sit here and to draw, to craft, to create stories, to create projects. I speak a lot in metaphors because that's a way that I have to really build this world or this universe building, right? When you sort of say 1 + 1 = 2, it's not as exciting as, let's talk about if we are a large boat and this is the project, to be able to have a direction where you go, the North Star. I think that as a design director, my job and duty is to be able to make sure that everyone sees where that North Star is. So I think one of the big aspects of a designer's role is to be able to take just a glance back and understand the original idea. Part of the interest in design, and especially for clients, is to be part of that process. So for myself, you know, working on a project, be able to have tactility and show them sketches and renderings that are done by hand is part of building that story and immersing them in part of the process. It's never about the final product. I think one of the things that we have seen in recent years, the behind the scenes is almost always more interesting than the end result, right? We see that with the idea of how do we use social media so that way consumers can be part of that experience. For so long, design has always sort of been this magical thing that happens between, you know, behind a closed door and all the chaos and the storm that brews within. I mean, you end up with this magical result. And I think, you know, this is, for example, this is an interesting idea. Like, during one of the projects, one of our concepts was able to sort of imitate the idea of a bird's wing in flight. And rather than trying to understand it through mathematical means or like what that looks like, I just took a piece of like marketing Mylar cover sheet, chopped it up, and started playing and twisting it into something that, oh, hey, this feels like it could be something that evolved. And then we took this to the presentation and we talked through the process with the client. And then I just took tape and scissors and cut it in front of them and twisted it for them, and they got it. And I think that's part of the storytelling, is clients want to be a part of it. And I think at the end of the day, we're all very curious. Took it out, met with the engineers, and I said, I don't have a model. I went to them, I was like, I have this. And they're like, okay, we'll take a bunch of pictures, can we borrow it? And 8 months later, they took this thing, computated it into a program and built it out of carbon fiber. So I think at the end of the day, we still communicate the same way we have always been, which is through process. It's never changed. It's always about experimenting. It's always about experiencing the space.